Alrighty, getting things started. Just making sure stream is working on my backup laptop. Got Jupiter, Rory, and Kush. And Ronald saying chugga chugga. What's that all about? Charles Buchanan, MC Cubed. Yeah, that's Rory's fan art in the corner. It's Ellie and Leo from Commander Clark. Thank you, Oppenheimer Media. Crazed Corey's here. Greetings. Jason Pendolph. Good to see you too. So working on a little Valentine's thing. This one has been waiting in the wings for a while. The Kick Buttowski thing that I think I started maybe last year. And even though it's not really Valentine's, it's got Kick and Kendall, so why not? Zachary Brooks asks, what's up? Nothing is up right now, just doing a little bit of work. Oh, actually, did get a little progress done on this part. And a little bit here too. After we get stepped on. Oh, should animate that. Or B. I can't find a Valentine. It can be hard. Whose stomach is this? This would be Kendall's stomach. Because Kick didn't quite make the jump. This is actually an ending that we did a poll, and this is the one people went with. This was like last year, I think, that I did the poll. Having hard Wednesdays on basketball. Why is it hard? I thought you liked basketball. This looks so good so far, says Major Chaotic. Thank you. How can I show you my story? I mean, if you have a DeviantArt account, usually where I look for stuff. I'm just curious, the last two videos at the end, when the outro changed, it showed the same giant release commission. Is it gonna be the same like that forever, or will the other commissions? Yeah, I could change it around. Though one of the commissions that I got last month is actually going to be in this one. So probably not this one. Love the elephant with the ball on her trunk. I think that's more of like a magnifying lens. Although that is making me think of a Mega Man. I think it's like one of those mid-level mini bosses. I think there was one that was like an elephant rolling around on a ball, and it also like shot balls at you. That was in Mega Man 10. I can't live chat during basketball. Oh, that's... yeah. Nothing wrong with taking a break from watching live streams to pursue other hobbies and activities. What if someone made a VTuber Jackie model? I mean, I hope they'd ask for permission. So remember again if I told you this, but did I tell you that the moon actually has an inner core and is 300 miles wide? Ah, that one's new. I hope the core is chewy in case someone or something decides to eat it. That'd be a nice surprise. Sorry about that. Let's see. Uh, it's not. It's solid. Oh, disappointing. When I was about 3 or 4, I actually thought the moon was a giant egg. Aw, that's cute. Santiago Jaime's Acuna? Among Us? Where? Well, you were 3, so it's understandable. 3? Clifford Longhead says hi. Superior Cyber Godzilla also says hi, but with an exclamation point. In case the moon's inner core is solid, not liquid, but the outer core is liquid though. Ooh. It's like a jawbreaker. The moon's always finding new ways to fascinate me. And also make me a little hungry. I think I've mentioned before, I've been watching that Stu Go show on Disney. Or I should say, a friend has been recording episodes for me to watch because I have my reasons for not supporting Disney Plus. But the first episode did involve the moon. Oh, and another episode involved the moon getting vandalized in a sense. Made me think of the Tick. The moon, if anyone's ever watched the Tick, suffered a lot of abuse, mostly from supervillain types. I've been watching Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the animated series. It was Kush mentioned it, got a playlist for me to check out. I'd only seen a few episodes when I was a kid, like when they used to do Saturday morning cartoons. So it was nice to watch the whole thing. Kind of surprised they haven't made that into a Shredder's Revenge ripoff. I've noticed them doing that a lot with old 90s properties, you know. 90s and 80s properties, I should say. So they made a Karate Kid game, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers. Oh, there was another one. Oh, the Toxic Crusaders. That was like one of the first ones that sort of tried to rip off like Shredder's Revenge. I think some of them also tried to have titles that sort of invoked that. I think the G.I. Joe one is called like Wrath of Cobra, which is definitely nothing like Revenge. Yeah, I think I'd want to see Attack of the Killer Tomatoes game with the same kind of humor from the series, or even maybe even a Mighty Max, like Shredder's Revenge ripoff. That would be fun. I remember one episode of Teen Titans Go, Starfire blew up the moon. Yeah, that just seems to be like such an easy target for supervillains. You know, it's something everyone looks at, and if you vandalize it, it's like you sort of make a name for yourself. I mean, that was the whole thing that started off Minions, the movies, at least. You know, the moon heist plot. Remember iCarly? Yeah, I remember that series. I also watched the one they had. I think it was on Paramount Plus. Though I think that one got canceled after the second season. It was a shame. Return of the Killer Tomatoes movie is actually free on YouTube Movies. I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen the movies yet. I asked my brother about it because he's a little bit of a fan of like those cheesy kind of B movies. And he told me that the first movie was like terrible. I guess it's not until like the later movies where they introduced like this most of the stuff from like the animated series. Because I don't think Future T Gangrene was even in the first one. I'd have to check out the movies and see. But yeah, I might marathon them sometime and see if they're any good. Oh my god, yes, Mighty Max returns. I'd love to see that. That has been like an idea in the back of my head. Was something like Mighty Max meets Polly Pocket. I wish the Looney Tunes in the mid 80s actually did a short where Bugs Bunny is doing a magic show and he pulls a literal vicious werewolf out of it. Why do you wish that upon Bugs Bunny? A werewolf. I mean, I guess that could be like a Halloween kind of thing, but like a werewolf? I mean, if it was gonna be like a typical Bugs Bunny thing, uh, he'd just be dealing with like a werewolf, right? I mean, it's a werewolf. That's more associated with like the moon coming out, and some guy is just like, hey, I'm a guy, and then he gets turned into a werewolf. I don't know where. Magic hats. Maybe Polly Pocket and Mighty Max are cousins. I guess they both have blonde hair. I imagine if they were related somehow, and with a name like Max, he'd probably have a um, maybe also a locket, but like something that would make him like giant, max him out. But even if they're not directly related, you could always imagine them teaming up on some kind of crossover adventure. Yes, ever seen Tween Wolf in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? Don't remember that one. I haven't even seen Teen Wolf. There's a bunch of like those 80s movies I haven't seen. Haven't seen Breakfast Club. Baby Max comes over to Polly's house and brags about his adventures in the 90s, and she's just like, okay, Max, while whirling her eyes. Ghostbusters is also pretty funny, but Stay Puft still scares me. Really? Is it because he looks like a nice guy? I think maybe someone else felt he looked too cute because I remember in the real Ghostbusters cartoon, he he was friendly. That was always weird. They did that a lot with these cartoons. Sometimes I see the cartoon before the movie, so it's like I would understand why Beetlejuice was an antagonist in the movie when he was like a more friendly ghost in the animated series. And Erwin transforms into a werewolf, and Billy thinks he's a regular dog. The only thing I remember about that from Billy and Mandy was apparently Erwin was part werewolf and part mummy. So I guess that made him a good candidate for the that monster fighting force spinoff that they tried to do. Dragonite, you can try linking on the front page of my DeviantArt. Although I don't read a whole lot of stories, a friend of mine did make a really fun story I enjoyed about David and Danny. It's one of those multiverse kind of plots. And I enjoyed it a lot. They saw hero versions of themselves. There was sort of a reverse universe where Danny wears orange, David wears blue, and Danny has like side effects from a lab accident that make her giant at random times. There's also a universe where David's like much younger, like he's her age and she's his age. That one was that one was one of my favorites because the Danny in that universe was like really bratty, really spoiled, and David in that universe was like just this annoying brat that liked to play pranks on his sister. Maybe should have the lightning like moving. Let me try converting it to a symbol. How many frames is in this? Yeah, let's give it 14 frames. Maybe have it still and just sort of moving. See how that looks. Alright, that looks much better. It's called Emily in the Cloud Kingdom. Alright, keep a lookout for that. So the funniest thing Erwin said in that particular episode, oh no, it's puberty. I mean, yeah, he's growing a bunch of hair everywhere. That's like the that's just a joke that you have to make. You know, this section right here is feeling kind of barren. Kind of want to see if I could add like a bunch of particle effects. I'm a sucker for particle effects. There's a bunch of sparks flying down. Made a trailer with Tina Kui as a giant that smiles. Good old Tina Kui. Just love that name. It's so cute. Kui. When earthbound or gigantic? Asks CGJ. I don't know. Don't think I had anything planned for either one. In one Among Us parody from Battle for Dream Island short, there was a scene where Match was on the scanner. It said she was 8 feet tall. I guess she's normally not 8 feet tall. How tall is a matchstick usually? Like an inch? I don't think I've ever successfully struck a match. There's some people that are so good at striking matches they can do it with like the beard stubble on their face. It's hilarious. Woohoo, particles. John Metronic says, Hick Buttowski. Yeah. Apple TV Plus peanut specials are surprisingly good. No worry, Dylan. You have a good night. Oh, Kush, I actually got a chance to check out that Camp Snoopy series. It's pretty decent. Wait, is it called Camp Snoopy or is it called like Beagle Scouts? But either way, I saw a few episodes. I'm surprised they do a lot more stuff with like the regular Peanuts cast than I assumed they would. Like it's not just Snoopy and all the little Woodstocks. You also get stories with a bunch of your other favorite characters. And my personal favorites are Linus, Schroeder, and of course Patty and Violet. Ironically enough, I used to hate them because they were so mean. Do you see them as less mean and just more like sassy? Alright, I think this will do. Save that. I think I made that hand too small. I'll finish by working on this burp. Oh, did I miss any comments? Oh snap, the drink of champions. Hey Lewis. Can you do an animation of Tails the Fox? Not really. Maybe if someone had a good script and they commissioned me, but it'd have to be such a good script. Hey, Camp Snoopy, I was right. I think my favorite episode I've seen so far from Camp Snoopy is the one where Linus's sister is feeling homesick. Mostly because she spends a good part of the day trying to ignore her homesickness by hanging out with the little Woodstock that was wrapped up in her sleeping bag too tight, and she looks like a tiny little burrito. But also had a sweet ending. Giganta seems extra grumpy. Oh, that's because she doesn't have a Valentine. can imagine that would make some people very grumpy. Hey, Kaz Quitman. Hey, Joe, can you do a Lincoln and Ronnie and Valentine's Day short? It's a little late. I'm just wrapping up this little special I've been working on. Hey, Naruto. So commissions open by the end of the month or even next month. Uh, yeah, it might take a while. It might have to wait until I've wrapped up sort of some of the major projects I've been working on. So I want to wrap up Grande House. I want to wrap up um, the 300K video that I've been putting some work into. Which, given our current numbers, we're about 5,000 away, I think, from 300K. So I think like in a month and a half is when I need to have that ready. But yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll make a message on my DeviantArt for anyone else who's been curious about that. Let's get her mouth vibrating a bit here. Gail, new to the channel, welcome. Plush Adventures of Cuphead. Remember Emoji Movie? Very barely. Very barely. I was thinking about it yesterday because someone made a joke about how a movie was terrible, but it wasn't as terrible as the Emoji Movie. So it was a funny comparison, but it felt so, I don't know, dated. I don't think people talk about that movie at all. Like, typically, I mean. I, I, I literally think the only thing I remember from that movie is the number two joke with the poo emojis. Maybe Illumination should try making an emoji movie. I mean, I guess there's some potential to it. I wouldn't want to watch the disgusting mega babies. Did someone make you? I remember watching a few episodes of that series. It was like one of those very cheaply made cartoons you'd see like on a Sunday afternoon or on like a brand new like kids family channel that didn't have like the rights to a lot of decent programming, so they just got whatever cheap stuff they could afford. Guess here she'll either be burping away Superman and Lois, or maybe Starfire and Robin. Same company who made Sawa the Chinese Cat. Andy and the Secret World of Santa Claus made Mega Babies. Really? Secret World of Santa Claus seemed like more of a, you know, kind of like a cutesy thing. It's like the main character in that show, Meg, sounds exactly like Kalu. Because same voice actor, it's unsettling. Oh, is Meg the girl baby in Mega Babies? I don't remember a whole lot of episodes from Mega Babies. It's just one that kind of stuck in my head because it kind of mimicked a Powerpuff Girls episode. It's the one where they fight pickle people. And yeah, like the Powerpuff Girls, they do it by just eating them. What's your secretly animation formula? Asks JMG11. I don't think I have a formula. In fact, half the time I barely know what I'm doing. I guess it's just doing a lot of work, being patient. And stay in school. Yeah, super approachable despite the fact she towers over everyone. Is more likely to stomp on someone. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Come on. Shut up, Meg. I feel bad for all the Megs and all the Karens out there. And by that I mean the people who actually have that name. Because how are you friends with someone with Meg and you don't at some point say, "Shut up, Meg"? That's got to be bad for the Megs. Give me your honest opinion on my channel name and avatar. I can't tell what that avatar is. Is that an elf? And God of the Internet. Is that your channel? I'm gonna be nice and give them both a B plus. Eduardo's here. Hello. It's unsettling finding out the voice actress for Meg and Kalu. I won't read that out loud because it is sad. If you want to be really sad, look up what happened to the voice actor for Ducky from the first shoot. What's that dinosaur movie called with all the dinosaurs? Land Before Time. I was about to call it Adventures with the Littlefoot and Friends. Just really realized I need to do sort of a transition here. So maybe like B getting sort of unstuck, like peeled off maybe. Leading into the hug. My profile is a picture of a space god wearing a suit. But why only a B+? Oh, like I said, I was being very generous. God of the internet. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't be judgy. My channel's named after lyrics from a Steven Universe song. Yeah, that alligator scene just kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? And it's kind of gross with all the little skeletons and skulls and bones. Hey, Moto. Almost missed you. Because I'm going to be wrapping up shortly. Tomorrow, I'll either work more on this, or I actually got a game recently that I think is sizey enough for me to maybe do something with on the channel. So we'll see. Tomorrow either will be more of this or a game stream. I might save the game stream until after Valentine's. Alright. Alright, just a quick moment to see if I missed any comments, if any I needed to mention something, and then I'm gonna call it. If you wanted to throw a Nickelodeon character out of a plane, which character would it be? I'm gonna say Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot, because she has jets, so she could just fly. I kind of thought my channel name was cool, but if you think there's a way I could make it better, let me know. I'm not great with names. I'm like the worst with names. I honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I honestly can't help you. Honestly, my thoughts on the matter, it's just I'm just drawing a blank. Both eating a giant truffle. Like a chocolate truffle or like the kind of mushroom? Alrighty. Again, thanks everyone for dropping in. Thanks for keeping things lively. Hope to see you again tomorrow. And God of the internet, sorry couldn't really help you. Just disregard everything I said. At the end of the day, you just have to be happy with what you put on the table, and you know, don't be too mindful of what other people are saying. If you're happy with what you got, then that's all you need. I understand. But again, I shouldn't be judgy about names. Alrighty. Peace.